Look, the Australian Institute of Family Studies did some research on men, and interestingly enough, 80% of men have indicated that they would not be likely to, for example, ring up a helpline over the phone. And a quarter of all men said that they would not seek help, believe it or not, from a health professional because they wanted to be stoic, they wanted to be manly, they wanted to sort of put up with it. So it's a real issue, and in actual fact, it is a health disorder.
Yes, well, I mean, men don't get much love these days. We had a lot of ad campaigns that actively go after men and the very basics of masculinity. But there's a lot of emphasis on women. Women have a lot of support in the press and the media and the corporate world. This International Men's Day, were you surprised at how little attention that it drew? Because there were a lot of people trying to get behind it this year, and yet we still didn't see a huge amount of coverage for such an important and serious topic.
Yeah, absolutely. We put out a press release, believe it or not, and we've got no mainstream media coverage. I think that there tends to be a real ignorance amongst the mainstream media because, look, quite frankly, the study by the Australian Institute of Family Studies indicated that there's a real close correlation between men being lonely and also the fact that if they're depressed, they are more likely to commit suicide. It's a real issue. It's a mental, it's a health issue, a mental disorder, and people are just ignoring it. And yet, you know, the number of men in 2022 who committed suicide, unfortunately, numbered 2,455. Now, that's a real tragedy, and something's got to be done about it and recognised by our parliamentary colleagues.
Well, the egalitarian-minded among us see International Men's Day as a normal balance to International Women's Day. I mean, it'd be weird to have one without the other. There are 6 pillars of thought that hold up International Men's Day, but they also have a theme each year. Can you go into a bit more detail? What is the theme of this year's International Men's Day, and what does that sort of scope cover?
Well, Alexandra, what happens is the theme is zero male suicide. What we're trying to get to is ensure that, you know, we can reduce the number of suicides all across the board.